One of the necessary mastery pagdating sa subject ng animal science is anatomy and physiology. Just as plants has their own parts and each part has its own function, kailangan rin natin pag-aralan yung mga different parts ng mga hayop and yung mga functions nito. For animal science nga lang, medyo mas complicated. Probably because the creature that we are studying are locomotive, ibig sabihin sila ay gumagalaw, and they do exhibit physical behavior, right? That is affected by the internal structures or anatomy that they have. So yun ang pag-aaralan natin. Ngayon, we will be diving into the surface level lang naman. So we will not be diving deep on the different organs or systems, but rather we will be taking a general approach, a general discussion on the anatomy and physiology, particularly of farm animals. So first off, we need to understand the term anatomy, right? So para maintindihan natin yung lesson ngayon, ano ba ito? What is anatomy? Anatomy, per se, is the blueprint of the body of your animal. So ibig sabihin, yan yung parang mapa. So kumbaga sa isang lugar, para malaman mo kung saan ka pupunta, kailangan mo ng mapa. So para malaman mo yung mga different structures or yes, yung different structures ng hayop, kailangan mo ng blueprint, kailangan mo ng mapa. Another analogy would be yung blueprint is the thing that architects or engineers hold when they are planning to build a house or when they are building a structure. Ano? Dapat alam nila kung alin yung mga structure na magkakatabi, alin yung magkakahiwalay, ano yung mga materyales na gagamitin, etc. So it gives you the structure basically of the animal, or the structure of the parts of the animal body. So kumbaga sa isang makina, makikita mo na ngayon, ang anatomy is taking the pieces of that makina and defining it basically. Ano yung structure na yon, sino ang katabi niya, etc. When it comes to anatomy, we are studying most commonly three things. First off, what we call as gross anatomy. So pag sinabi natin gross anatomy, we are looking at something that is macroscopic. What do I mean by that? We are studying those parts na nakikita ng ating mata. Okay? They are big enough that we can see it. We don't need a microscope to see it. The parts are there and we can study it. That's gross anatomy. Ang opposite ng gross anatomy would be histology. Because in histology, we are now studying the cellular level of these parts. So for example, when we are looking at the liver of the animal, then that is gross anatomy. Pero kapag ang tinignan na natin is yung mga epithelial cells in the liver of that particular animal, maybe because we want to see kung may fatty liver siya, etc., then that is now histology. Another crucial aspect of anatomy is comparative anatomy. Pagdating sa hayop, comparative anatomy simply means ano ba yung mga pagkakaiba and pagkakapare-pareha nung mga organs ng iba't ibang hayop na to. How are they the same? How are they similar in terms of body parts and functions, and how are they different? So that's comparative anatomy naman. Now, madalas, ang partner ni anatomy, remember, anatomy is just talking about structure, it's just talking about the blueprint. Madalas, ang partner ni anatomy is physiology. And what is physiology? It now explains how itong mga organs na to, itong mga systems na to, perform their functions. So, hindi ka lang nakafocus sa parts Hindi ka lang nakafocus sa blueprint. Hindi ka lang nakafocus sa structure. Nakafocus ka na, kapag physiology ang pinag-uusapan, ano ba yung function ng mga body parts na to? How are they integrated with one another? How do they function together, basically? Kasi, itong mga organs naman na to, they do not function alone. They function together with other organs in the animal body. So, balik tayo doon sa analogy natin ng makina. When we're just looking at the parts of the machine, then that's anatomy. When we are now defining kung ano ba yung mga trabaho ng bawat parte ng machine na yon, then that is now physiology. Okay? Studying the body parts of your animals pushes us, okay, or urges us to study not just what is being seen, okay, yung sa ano yun, gross anatomy, but also what is not seen. And that would be the cellular level. Pero hindi lang naman cellular level and gross level yung nakikita natin pagdating sa hayop. Because there is actually a body, an organization of, there is actually an organization of structure from the smallest going to the largest that we can see. So ano yung pinakamaliit kaya na structure sa animal body? Alam na natin yun. Okay, what is the basic unit of life? Ang basic unit of life would be your cell. Okay? So yan yung pinakamaliit basically na component ng katawan ng hayop. Okay? Katawan ng farm animals and at the same time katawan natin. Kaya it is true and correct if we say that the animal is made up of cell. Yes, everything in the animal is made up of cell. Now, when these cells, kapag sila ay nagkumpul-kumpul, okay, what happens now? Kapag nagkumpul-kumpul yung mga cell na to, they now form tissues. Some example of tissues would include muscle tissues, katulad na lamang ng skeletal muscle that is used for movement, cardiac muscle, na tissue ng ating heart, smooth muscle that is also a tissue for organs like the intestine. Another example of tissues would be your nervous tissue, which is composed of what kind of cells? Neurons, right? Epithelial tissues is also an example. Nakikita naman yan doon sa digestive tract ng ating hayop. At the same time, finally, last example would be connective tissues, katulad na lamang ng mga tendons and ligaments na makikita natin sa joints ng hayop. Ngayon, itong mga tissues na to, of course, magkukumpul-kumpul ulit yan. Kasi nga, sabi natin, body organization. From smallest going to the biggest. So when these tissues are grouped together, we now form organs. Okay? Now, organs, this is now the part of the animal body that are highly specialized. Ibig sabihin, meron silang kanya-kanyang toka. Okay? Ang mga organs. Katulad na lamang ang kidney. Ano ang toka ng kidney? Ang toka ng kidney ay para i-filter yung dugo, to remove the waste products inside the animal body. Okay? At the same time, another function of the kidney is to regulate water balance. Lungs. Ano naman ang function ng lungs? It is for gas exchange, removing the carbon dioxide and replenishing the body with oxygen. How about the brain? The brain is the control center, right? The heart pumps blood to the body, right? So very specialized ang function ng mga organs. But then again, as I've told you earlier, organs do not work alone. Therefore, a group of organs now will form the largest part of your body organization, which is the system. Okay? And the system now are basically a group of organs that functions simultaneously in order to complete a specific function. For example, cardiovascular system. Ang cardiovascular system talks about how blood is flowing to our body. And ano yung mga organs na nandun sa cardiovascular system? We have the heart, we have the lungs, we have the blood vessels, right? Endocrine system. Kapag endocrine system naman, yan yung mga, ang pinag-uusapan natin, ano yung mga organs na nag-release ng hormones. Kasama na dyan yung pancreas. Okay? Kasama na dyan yung brain. Right? Kasama na dyan yung liver. Okay? So these are part now of the endocrine system. We will be talking more, or we will be talking in depth of this particular systems sooner sa mga susunod na lectures natin. Another important thing that we need to understand when we're talking about animal science is some anatomical directions and planes, or kumbaga ito yung jargons that allows us to identify kung saan ba nakalocate yung body part ng hayop na to. Okay? So yun yung dapat natin i-master. Madali lang naman. Ito yung mga common anatomical direction and planes na ginagamit sa pag-aaral ng animal science, particularly anatomy. So we have cranial and caudal. When we say cranial, this is something that is relating to the head of the animal. Okay? Cranial is relating to the head. So the direction is to the head. While caudal naman, the direction is doon sa tail. Okay? Or anus, part ng hayop. So cranial relates to the head, caudal refers to the tail end. Another anatomical plane would be dorsal and ventral. Kapag sinabi mong dorsal, likod ng hayop. Okay? So likod natin, if you're going to position yourself as like a dog na sitting on four limbs, or standing on four limbs, yung likod natin, yun yung dorsal. So likod ng kabayo na to, dorsal. Ventral naman ay yung tiyan. Okay? Or kung nasaan nakalocate yung nipple or other ng mga female animals such as horse, cattle, and pig. We also have proximal and distal. Now, what is proximal? Proximal is simply near, means near, malapit. Distal naman, malayo. So sa ating diagram na dito, the shoulder part here, the shoulder part of the horse is proximal or near to the midsection or to the body of the horse. Whereas yung hoof naman is distal. Mas malayo siya doon sa body of the horse. And finally, we have medial and lateral. So sa medial and lateral naman, ang tinitingnan natin dyan is gaano kalapit or kalayo doon sa midsection ng hayop. So for example, titingnan natin dito sa yung aso na to, yan yung midsection niya. So this particular leg, this one, kung ano yung mas malapit doon sa sentro ng hayop, we call that as medial. Kung alin naman yung malayo doon sa sentro ng hayop, we call that lateral. Tingnan natin another example. Okay. Oh, yan. Okay. So, the nose is what? Medial. Okay? Kasi siya yung nasa gitna ng mukha. Right? Ano yung lateral? Lateral would be the ears. So, that is how medial and lateral naman can be distinguished from one another. Magtitake ka ba ng licensure exam for agriculturists this year? If yes, I believe my course is for you. Enroll now at Learning Agri Withal modular course by clicking the link below. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Mag-enroll ka na. Samahan kita mag-review. Bye!